a point in my life where I felt that the commercial part maybe came up later on and will
पैसा
get
आ ही
to it.
जाएगा basically.
हाँ मतलब
Hopeful
कभी
रहना
ना कभी
चाहिए.
आ जाएगा. I just resigned. I would say on Friday was my last day.
Hello everyone, hi, we are back yet again with another guest, and thank you so much for viewing the Manthan Mehta show, where we get people over here who tell their stories, really interesting stories, truly inspiring stories. Each and every journey is special in their own way. This is something that I believe, and this is why we are doing this very thing. Today we have yet another special guest with us, a very dear friend of mine, Henal Parekh. Hi Henal, how are you?
Hi Manthan, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for being over here and accepting our invite. And Henal, I request you to introduce yourself in your own words.
So hi everyone, this is Henal Parekh. I am a visual communication and digital designer. I have done this course from Ecole Institute Lab, and apart from that, currently I'm working as a senior visualizer. I was working at Shebang just 5 days back, and recently I'm gonna join at White Rivers Media. And apart from that, I am also working as at an NGO. Leo Club program and currently serving as the district president. And thank you so much, Manthan, for inviting me. And glad that I got this opportunity to share my story and to motivate or inspire any of the lives possible.
You started with some visual thing. If you could just throw some light about what was it?
Visual communication and digital design.
Okay. If you could just elaborate a bit on that, कि होता क्या है ये?
Sure. So what this thing is, all of you must have heard about, a graphic designer or a communication designer.
Right.
This is something similar, but not just one thing, but a couple of things. So I did this course from Ecole Institute Lab. It's a French institute. It was a long 4-year course. So it includes from learning from your hand-drawn to social media to your website and how to build up a website, and also how to do coding and branding. So this includes a lot of things like from branding, advertisement, photography, website designing, coding, and a couple of things, whatever currently the digital market of our world requires.
So you are well versed with each and every area over here.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. So this is called visual
communication and digital design. So
visual
that's a 4-year course that I did.
Right.
As an international degree.
Right. That is so. I'm so happy to do this. I learn each and every time when I talk to someone. This is a fantastic thing that happens when you talk to everyone about what they do. So what pushed you? आपको क्या motivation मिला कि आप ये line में गए? Out of all the lines in the world.
Thank you for this question. This is a little interesting, I would say. So when I was a kid, your parents do force you, like, okay, your exams are nearby and you need to study.
Right.
Like, 3-4 बजे तक रात को पढ़ाई करना है and all of that. Trust me when I say this, I used to sleep. Exams, like, studies was something probably not pretty interesting for me. And when you on a similar level, like when you ask me to do art, drawing, painting or something, I would stay up the entire night. And that's how I took up elementary intermediate during my school time. And post that as well, I did appear for CAT, which is I would say communication designer. When you want to become a communication designer, you give up this government entrance exam, which is CAT, to maybe enter into JJ or Raheja colleges.
Right.
And that's when this line, like, I'm interested in painting and everything. And that's when I took up this exam as well, post my 12th. And I did appear for it. That got cleared up. But I got into a college which was not in Mumbai. It was in Pune. And I was not quite sure. And at one point, my parents did agree that, okay, we are okay to send you up to Pune as well. And that's when one of my relative, like my aunt, she just suggested me that, my colleague's daughter, she's studying something very interesting. It's an international course and it's related to designing itself and drawing, painting, everything. So just go and meet her up. And I've met her up and she just explained me the entire course and everything. And trust me, I felt much more interested into that because that was something, like, that's when after a lot of research I realized that all of these colleges probably in Mumbai, what they are teaching, Raheja, be it JJ, anything, they are a little bit of old school types because they follow the tradition that our India is following up, that okay, you do it hand drawn,
Right.
just paintings and etc. stuff. And that's when, to be in today's world, that it's so, it's like a race that everyone's running for learning something new,
Right.
and that hunger. And that's when I was like, okay, I want to take up this. Rather than this, I want to go for international degree where I will be able to learn something much more, and I'll be able to get a much more bigger exposure in the world and in life. And yeah, that's how we just parents got convinced about it, and that's what pushed me to take up this line.
So correct me if I'm wrong, you got a chance to enter into a JG or a Raheja or a college of that league. But
Not Raheja or JJ, I did not score up that much.
Right.
But I got a chance to take up into Pune. There's a college. So yeah,
But
over there.
you chose the unconventional thing over the traditional
Yes.
thing. And that is how you got trained in this field. That's
Yes,
what you're
yes,
saying.
absolutely. And I would say that was the best decision that I took up because it gave me such exposure that I was a shy person. I
Right.
started meeting a lot of people. I would say, like a complete different crowd with an art, and not just that, and also this college. Since
Right.
it's an international college, like not over here, it's a French institute. So it gave a lot of exposure. It gave us chance to go to design yatras, which happens in where world's well-known designers, everyone come, all the agencies come. They have a meet and greet sessions and all. So getting that exposure, and plus our main institute is in Paris. So
Okay.
so how we colleges have IV tours,
Right.
we have design trips, like design tour, and we had an opportunity to go to Paris. So getting those exposure, it's something which probably the traditional school,
It doesn't give it,
college
right.
won't give that. So yeah, I would
So
say
now you're really happy, or you don't regret your choice right now.
definitely not. Really happy with
nice.
it because agencies do know this college, and they prefer, whenever they see that okay, I'm pass out from this college,
Right.
they would give the first preference because
To you.
yeah, like international thing. So
That's fantastic. How did the world treat you after you got qualified from this institute? How difficult was it to get your first job, or how did your journey continue post that time?
sure. So I would say getting a job like immediately after my graduation, I did not take up I did have an offer from my college placement itself.
Right.
But I was flying to Germany for a youth exchange that was from the NGO, and that's how I did not take up an immediate job. But then I did take up something else. So in the world, like in the industry, it is a little difficult. Not just I would say, but because of the institute, but then.
Right.
Designer, it's just not me. We have the world has thousands and dozens of designers.
Yeah, many, true.
So, yeah, many of them. So to get into an industry, it does take a while. It did take me a while, but eventually I did land up a job like very easily. And then post that, I worked over there for 10 months. And post that, I was more over that, like, I want to start something of my own. I want to be independent. And I took up freelancing.
Okay.
Yeah. So for a couple of while I was doing for 2 years, I was doing freelancing. In between that period, COVID hit.
Okay.
So it did give that, a reality check, or probably a downfall, that this is a period that, maybe everyone requires their own being an independent. You do require your own financial stability, etc.
Right.
So then I was looking for, okay, it's time to probably get a job because you have a fixed income. And trust me, so in this period itself, I did build up my own portfolio. And when I was looking for a job, my college degree did help me out, and my portfolio, and getting a job wasn't difficult. I did get a job, like I would say, very easily. So
That's nice. So and let's dig deep into the freelancing period of yours. How difficult was it? Because you are basically an entrepreneur when you do this, and there will be many people coming to you asking or helping you to visualize a design that they have, and at times it doesn't match with what you have built, and then there is friction that happens. So some good or bad experiences that you would like to share.
So there are a couple of experiences, I would say. Over here, so freelancing is something where you experience the downfall or the higher level as well. And I would just say, like, in general, but yeah, there were times when designers were really, like, the clients were really happy with the outcome. because that was a period when I was, sitting freelancing, is where you are not worried about any of the deadlines you need to have. When you have a job, you are very about deadlines, etc. And you have a very free mind. So that's how, that was a time when I used to get clients like for the logo design or something, and they were really happy with the outcomes at times. And there were times when, they have very specific things. So it gets difficult when a client comes with particular reference that I want something exactly like this itself. And it becomes difficult because this
Can you give me some example over here?
Okay.
Don't name the client, but if you could
sure.
just explain what happened actually.
Sure. So there was a client, I would say, he came for a logo design.
Right.
And he came up with 2-3 references. And he was like, okay, I want something exactly similar to this only. Like, don't explore yourself, and just you do one thing, like take
Stick
something
to the
from
design,
here.
basically.
Yes, take something from here, take something from there,
Right.
and just create something. And when this happens, it becomes very restrictive because you are in such a field that you need to explore. With just
Right.
3 references, it becomes like, okay, I just need to think about this. So, as you get a little bit maybe, irritated,
Right.
that, okay, why this, and all the explaining to the client gets a little difficult. But eventually, so I would say I did a reverse thing. I gave something what he wanted, and I also tried out what I wanted.
Okay.
So the client was really happy that, okay, you did give an option from your own self, and eventually he chose what I gave him.
Okay.
So
Okay. He chose what you thought, what your thought process
yes,
was. Okay.
apart from what he wanted, because there was a process into it, and there was an explanation about why this colors, why this everything.
Right.
So having that explore, I would say that freedom, because you need to plan, you need to do a lot of referencing as
Right,
well.
right.
So that is what we expect from the clients also.
This would have been
Learning.
greatly a satisfying experience that you would have received.
Definitely.
So you didn't stuck to what he gave, but you explored your creative
Yes.
mind and you thought out of the box and created a logo for him.
Yeah. Because that's what this field teaches you.
Right.
That you do not stick to what the client wants, and you
Right.
need to explore. Like, this field is all about exploring yourself,
Right.
since it's a creative field.
That's nice. It's more like a Steve Jobs thing. Steve Jobs always said that, the customer doesn't know what he requires. You should think out of the box, give him a thing which he hasn't dreamt of, and that is what he requires. That's for sure.
That's
That's
true.
a nice thing. And these are the good experiences, and definitely there would be some bad ones. Be it with the design, be it with the experience, be it with the most important thing, payment as well.
Yes, that do
If
happen.
you would like to elaborate on that as well.
Okay, sure. Also, delay in payments always happen.
Right.
Because you expect from the client. So I did have a client, and we just went for a pitch, and the client really liked it. We gave him a couple of designs, and after that, it always go like, okay, let's start with the entire, the retainer process. So after that experience, I made sure that always take 50% advance.
Okay.
Be whatever it is. So I made sure to take the 50% advance before starting, and then the 30, and then the rest of it. So I would say that was a good thing that I took the 50%, because after that 50%, after the half of the month went, there was no response from the client.
Okay.
So, even after a lot of follow-ups from the team as well, there was no response. And then out of blue, after 3 months, he suddenly comes up with new requirements that, okay, I want something. So that's when I like, okay, you need to think twice. So
Before trusting him again.
Yes, before trusting him. So make sure that, okay, first clear the previous payment, and then go
we'll
with
go
the
ahead. Right,
next one.
right.
But yes, I would say always recommend anyone that take 50% advance whenever you are going up with the client, whenever you're taking up any of the work, because that helps you plan out better and understand the client more better, that, okay, whether you will be able to get the payment by the end of the month or not.
Right. That's nice. Yeah, experiences, each and every experience.
It does teach you, I guess it did teach that, okay, how you can be an entrepreneur, like, okay, it's not about just designing, just delivering things,
Right.
but also understanding the financial part as well. So it is teach a lot of things that, okay, you have good clients, you have bad clients. It's all about dealing and not being a little frustrated, but having that calm sense and probably trusting the client that, okay, by probably by the end of 2-3 months you will
पैसा
get
आ ही
paid.
जाएगा basically.
हाँ मतलब
Hopeful
कभी
रहना
ना कभी
चाहिए.
आ जाएगा.
So again, this is a very important thing for any entrepreneur. You need to have a strong mindset for sure.
True.
Because there would be good days and there will be many bad days. So again, I'll be emphasizing on the bad days right now. So as an entrepreneur, because we are focusing on the freelancing part right now, how important is failure as for you? And how important is tackling the failure, and how do you come out of that failure with a positive mindset?
So I did spoke about that I was doing freelancing
Right.
and the COVID period hit and I was left with 0 clients. Because the businesses were not happening, everyone
Right.
was on a break. And that was a point, that was a failure, not a failure, but that was something like a point in my life where I felt that, okay, you need to do something. Even if it's COVID, you cannot just rest because you have a life ahead. So that's when it hit me that, okay, there were times where I was thinking, okay, abhi aage kya?
Right.
What I'm supposed to do is this, just freelancing is what I want to do or something else. And I would say I did overcome that period, that failure thing. And how did I do is started learning, started researching a couple of things about design, what currently in the market design is, what the
Right.
trends are in the design. And that's when it hit me that maybe, it's time to grow yourself. Just doing freelancing, it's not just that because you learn something in your college period and that's what you're doing. But that's when it hit me that probably to be in the industry, it's time to go back in the industry, take up a job and learn something what
Right.
the current designers are doing, what the current trends are, what the industry is all about. And that's when probably I would say a wake up call for me. And I took up a job and honestly after I just resigned, I would say on Friday was my last day. And learning from it, how the journey went, trust me, it was so amazing that now I can see that I'm a better designer. And now from that failure, that period of not having clients, I can say down the line, maybe if 2-3 years back, 2 or 3 years later, sorry, I am pretty much confident that I can start up something on my own because I've learned now, I've grown from that failure, and even if in future that failure does come up, I know how can I tackle it up, how can I market myself better is what I've learned. So I would take up this as a positive thing that you cannot stop learning. You need to keep on learning. Even if you do not take up a job, you just need to be aware about what things are happening. And failure is something which everyone faces. You need to not just take it up like, okay, failure aa gaya. Now, having the depressed mindset is not what you should be doing it. Rather, you should be thinking on the opposite side that, okay, life is teaching me something new. Let's take it in a positive way. Let's overcome it up and, let's fight back failure and let's grow as a better person.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That was an interesting thing. To sum the entire thing up, during COVID, we were left with 0 clients.
Yes.
And that is where you thought that I may be wrong.
Yes.
And you introspected and you started learning about how designing works. And that is
True.
when you understood that the knowledge that you have is redundant. So there are many new things that is happening.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
pivoted into a job.
Into a job, yes.
Just to learn
Just
how,
to learn.
how do you need to be in trend with the things that
and
are
then
happening.
what the clients want, what currently the
Right.
design industry is working on.
And your ultimate goal right now would be to have an agency of your own.
Down the line, yes. I'm looking forward, as I say, down the line in 2 to 3 years, having my own agency.
To have your own thing.
Yes.
Nice. And now you know where do you get all the updates from as well.
Yes. Honestly.
But
yes.
this industry is changing like with every second different.
Very rapidly, I would say.
Right. Nice. You also spoke about an NGO that you are a
Yeah.
part of. If you could elaborate about that as well. Yeah.
Sure, this is very interesting and a very dear and near thing. So I'm working into an organization that is Leo Club program. It's a youth wing of Lions Club International, and this is my 9th year. I joined
Wow.
in 2015, and the journey has just been amazing. So this organization focuses on youth. It's a youth organization,
Right.
Leo Club program, a youth wing of Lions Club International. And what we do is not just do social service, but I would say focus more over on ourselves or on our own personal growth
Right.
and personality development, networking, career accelerator, and much more opportunities. And moreover, you do get friends for lifetime and you grow as a better person.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
yeah, I have like my experience has been very amazing. I would say I joined as a like when I joined in 2015, I joined through a friend, and I probably have that urge of doing some social service. So there's a backstory which nobody knows. So my grandfather's elder brother, he was a part of Lions Club of
Okay.
Ghatkopar years back, and for years and years he has traveled, I would say, all over the world
Wow.
to a couple of clubs, couple of districts, multiple everywhere. And that's how probably I would say, there's a connection or something. Like when my grandfather, heard about it that I'm joining Lions Club, and he was really amazed by it because he has seen his own brother working in that active in this organization. So I would say I joined as a very shy person just because all my friends were there, like all my school friends were there, a part of it. So okay, flow mein ha, giving back to the society and also having fun just with the friends. I did not expect that just being as a member of the organization one day, I would be taking up as a district president and
Right.
having 23 clubs under me.
Wow.
So the journey is
So you are leading how many members right now?
currently, I'm leading exactly, I would say, 714 members.
क्या बात है. You have the exact number with you, the 714 members. Fantastic. So, you said that this organization helped you grow at a personal capacity as well by
Yes.
being a more confident person, growing as a leader or growing as an individual as well. So, why should one join this organization?
So, this will come with my experience as well. So, this organization is not just limited to social service. When I say that it's all about personal development, I would say that it helps you take up leadership. So I joined as a regular member, then I got on just because I was active, I was going to all the events, etc. I got an opportunity to become a secretary, and I would say you become leader when you grab opportunities.
Right.
If you do not grab opportunities that the world is throwing out to you, you're just like a normal person. So that's when I took up that opportunity, and that's how I've grown, becoming a club secretary to club president, etc. And when that leadership quality came up, I would say by attending all the events, learning from my mentors, and moreover learning and then learning about the organization, giving back to the society, having friends, etc. And when you see a leader, that's when like you see your mentors that okay, they are leading something, and that's when you also have a, not I would say completely a goal, but an aspiration that okay, even I want to be over here at one
Right,
point.
right.
And yeah, I would say that's how it happened, and that's how I have also grown. And why should one join this organization? Trust me, when you join this organization with the motto of not just giving back to the society, but about also becoming a better person,
Mhm.
just having that one spark also and grabbing opportunities. When I say like by the end of the year, you will see that you are a different person. Like
Right.
that is a guarantee if you stay active in this organization, and it gives a lot back.
Right.
Yeah.
So just to sum it up, I feel that your traditional education is something that everyone has, but this will give you an upper hand when you are
Yes.
directly talking to different people, experiencing a different sort of leadership by taking up the leadership and talking to different people, being active in such an organization. This will help you to grow as an individual.
True, definitely. Because this organization is something you do your daily course, like you have a job, you are working, or you have your own office business. But this is something apart from daily life. This is something extracurricular that you are doing,
Right.
and you do not get this ever become like you're not seeing that okay, sub leaders are. This organization gives you that chance, that opportunity that you can be a leader, and even if you're not, you can be future. Like you can just grow yourself better.
It's more like a net practice sort of a thing that you are doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice.
And apart from that, also one thing that when I said that I was doing freelancing, this organization helped me a lot. So
With
I
getting the
had-
clientele
yes,
and stuff. Oh,
yes.
nice.
I had couple of like almost I would say 50% of my clients were from this organization,
Oh,
whether they're
fantastic.
having their own businesses or anything.
That's nice. That's again an add-on advantage that you
Yes,
have.
yes.
Perfect. This is last question from my side, Henal. You know, you are an artist, and I personally feel that the next decade would be ruled by the artist because the current the current rage of social media that you have, the artists are getting the best of the limelight. It is the best time to be an artist because you are paid the highest or the peak that an artist can achieve right now is today. But this wasn't the same when you started your education. So, what motivated you to be an artist? I know that there was an urge from within, but you know, eventually, paisa or commerce is very much important. So,
Right.
is that your sheer love for art that pushed you, or there was some commercial angle that you had thought as well? Because no one would have thought that, you know, the social media would give this big platform to all the artists. So, what's your take on this?
I would say this the urge or the passion itself, the commercial part maybe came up later on. And when you say that artists are the higher paid, probably that's a misconception. We do have like companies who are where artists are very less
Right,
paid.
right.
So commercial has never been a thing. It's more over the urge of just learning something in the art field. And yeah, when we see that art is becoming like the social media etc.
Right,
is
right.
becoming the higher thing I would say in the world. So yeah, because everybody requires social media. So
Right.
that's when it becomes like how that even a layman having a business or a person who is even starting like a home baker thing,
Right.
even those people
So,
require
gives you
social
more
media.
and more opportunities to grow
Yes,
as
yes.
well.
And that's when you feel that, okay, you want to keep doing this
Right.
because you're helping out people and you're also growing. So, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. That was great chatting with you, Henal. We could go on and on, but unfortunately, we have time limit. We'll have to end it. But definitely, we will continue this in the times to come later on as well.
Definitely.
But thank you so much. Indeed, you are an artist, and art is something that people should pursue because it helps you grow mentally. It makes sure that you are fresh from within because you have to think differently each and every given point of time.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Henal. Thank you for coming up on the show and sharing your motivational story with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
once
Thank you
again.
so much for the opportunity. And it was really great interacting and not really understanding that, okay, I could share my experience as well. So, thank you so much.
Pleasure. Bye.